All right, so some of the things that I thought of, and it's not really new, but I think it should be brought up. I think are great ways to, I guess, please all player bases and just sort of update certain parts of the game. You know, like a few of the things that I liked this year was, let's say, this current event, Boss Bounty event, where you clear dailies of Commander and Chaos, and you can get choose. There's a store for items that you can choose, right? If you're missing a Magnus pendant, a Magnus badge, you're missing a Von Leon piece, whatever it is, you do your dailies, you do your content, and you will get rewarded. And this is long overdue, right? They also tried to do it where after so many clears, you get a box for hard chaos clears, for chaos clears. Some are choice boxes, some are random. They have it for HRA and normal RA as well. Those are great, but I really think that they need to put an emphasis on choice boxes, options, um, just because of how RNG based a lot of this accessory drops are, right? And I think that feels very, those drop rates are very outdated for content that is outdated. Just simple as that. So I think that finding ways to, I guess, minimize RNG by rewarding consistency, right? By playing the game, people should get rewarded and should also get rewarded by eliminating the RNG aspect, by giving them options, a choice. Right? I think that's just something. It's not for, you know, it's not going to take away everything, the RNG side of the game, a big part of the game, but it's just going to help progress that lower content, that content that's been out for years and years and years, that still is around and has benefits, and it's just adding another layer and just, you know making it available. Um, I think that's an easy thing for them to fix, and they've been doing it. I think they just gotta keep it a next step. Maybe if this boss bounty thing is incorporated into Commander, where after so many clears you get a choice box. That'd be awesome. And versus being event, it's just something that's always there. Um, and after 3 months, 90 days, whatever it is, 90 clears, you can get your Hard Magnus pendant. You can get your Von Leon piece, whatever it is. That's nice, right? 1 out of 90 is still a low percent. Like getting a drop every 90 days is still a low percent, right? It's not. It's not gonna be. It's still gonna be tough. It's still gonna be a grind. But I think at least people seeing the end of the tunnel and getting their dailies rewarded for playing the game. It's that's an easy way to retain players, right? Keep players happy. And the next thing I think they have to focus on, and this just starts from the bottom, and it's events. Like I mentioned, why are there's still 8% armor emblem scrolls, weapon scrolls as choices in the event? Why is it not 20%? Why is it not 25%? It's just, it's sad to see in 2023, coming on to 2024, people, mains, not having emblems for, like, maybe that's just me being in a, in a different class, like not a free to play, but it just feels like emblems are such a outdated part of the game that just because you have an emblem, it doesn't, it's, that's like, it doesn't mean it's, even if you pass that emblem scroll, it doesn't even mean it's going to be a good emblem, right? The double layers of RNG just for an emblem is ridiculous, and I think that that rate should go up. Just simple as that. Why, like, 20%? Even if you only get one per month, maybe if you want to increase the available buys, maybe that's nice too. But I just feel like that is something. It's just, it shouldn't be the case where newer players are having such a hard time to get emblems, or lower player tiers, free to play players are having such a hard time getting emblems, let alone the right emblem. That's just, I just don't think that's makes sense. Um, and then things like, you know, I don't know, Maybe the shop can be better, but I think that is just something that I feel like is very outdated. It just is. I mean, they've incorporated exalt reduction scores consistently, 30%. Why aren't there's a whole player base that's not even at that stage yet because they don't even have emblems. So that's just my thought. I think that's an easy fix. Just again, reward playing the game, reward consistency, doing events with a little bit more RNG, a little bit more, success. Goes a long way. I feel like it's not going to kill them if they make it 20%, whatever it is. And that goes along the lines of also adding in increased success chances with every fail. They do it for exalts, rating exalts. Why is that the only thing? Is it because that there's a five tier count? I mean, only 5 exalt failures at a time. Necros, ancient inherent attempts are still very challenging for players to accumulate these coins, these attempts, if the item isn't tradable. So basically they're getting punished. Players are getting punished for equipping their best gear and not holding it in their bag and making it tradable, which is a tradable item is very hard to find at the mythic level because it's just such an outdated part of the game, right? I just think that it doesn't make sense for people to be struggling to gather attempts for necro and inherent attempts, not get rewarded, and being punished for equipping their best gear, and not having it a tradable project. I just think that doesn't make sense to me, especially now, especially nowadays. And then increase success rates. Necros, like every fail should be 0.5%, 1%, from a 5% to a 6%. Even after 20 fails, they'll be at 25%. That's still not a guarantee, right? I just feel like that just has to be implemented. It just has to be. But I feel like Nexon is just forgetting about this player base, large player base that doesn't, isn't at the 1% of the 1% players. And I think I want to be able to speak for them, right? There's a lot of free-to-play players and players that are in my comments asking for questions and help, and they are still struggling with Necros and Inherit and what to do on what routes. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that are in the same position that just don't want to speak up. And they should not be, pushed aside. I think that they should be prioritized because those are the ones that care about the game and play the game and love the game and tell their friends to play the game. So that's another factor, right? Adding in percent chance of RNG, a small percent goes a long way. People have been asking that for forever. I don't understand why they do it for exalts. They've done it for exalts, but nothing else.